You've had a number of guys obviously coming back, Cleveland here and there. Is it good to see Carson be one of those guys and get a shot at the NHL, before the season ends?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see him again. He's a guy who had a tremendous camp, and got sent down early, came back, and I thought he was okay when he came back. I know there was more in his game, and I think he knew that too. And I know he's gone down. He got injured there with us and went back down. And one thing when you talk about Vogue's down there about him, he's just consistent in his effort. What he brings is his attention to detail. Look forward to seeing him again tonight.
As we wind down the season here, there's only 3 games left or whatever. But and I know, I think it was 2 months ago we talked to you about the fact that you don't ever look at the standings as far as lottery and all that kind of stuff. But is it kind of hard to ignore that at this point? How everything's kind of shaping up here?
Well, we know where we're at. I'm not ignorant. I know exactly where we're at. So, but it doesn't change how we approach the game. It's the way it's talked outside and by maybe certain fans or certain media. That's on them. We go out. These guys are here to perform and play hard. We're trying to win the game. I can tell you right now, that's what we do every single night, and that's what we expect from our players. So, our circumstance is different than a lot of teams with just where we're at as far as personnel. But again, I'll go back to the opportunity. These kids that come up, these opportunities don't come along all the time, and you don't want to have any regrets because. There's guys that have been plugged into some situations they may never have seen, especially with a full roster, may never even got up, but now, they believe they can play. They believe there's an opportunity. Well, you take advantage of it because in even these 3 games, we're evaluating right to the end and what they bring, and you can't let up because all of a sudden next year comes, you're a healthier group and you're on the outside looking in. So these guys, you hope that they take advantage. Some guys are, some guys maybe not as much as you'd like to see.
The 2 of the teams that you're down there with, obviously Chicago and Anaheim. Have you had a chance to watch any of their games recently? It looks like they're doing the same thing. Anaheim, stole a couple points that maybe people thought they weren't going to get. Chicago had a lead in the 3rd period last night.
I have not watched any of their games.
Okay.
I have got enough on my plate here in Columbus.
Okay.
Brad, have you seen the shuttling of these guys have any impact on them?
Yeah, I think I saw it last game. Some of them are playing 3 games in 3 nights, and they do it in the American League level, but it's different. There were some circumstances they went through too, and missing a flight, not because they were late or anything, just because of how it worked out. And so they're getting in, they're landing at 4:00, and having a sandwich in the airport for their pregame. It's tough. They are human, and normally you're setting up for your game day routine. You come in for your meeting, you have your nap, and do all that. So they got none of that. But they're pushing. They're pushing it, and it's a credit to them. And they want to show and do their best. And some of these hurdles you have to go over, you deal with it, right?
Yeah. And how much do you try to manage that into their playing time, into their minutes, into how much? You got to think of what they've been through over the last couple of days, but some of them for a week.
All I can do is evaluate play as it's going on. That's it. I can't factor in what they did or didn't do, or their flight plans and status. I just watch how they play, and then we make adjustments from there.
Yeah.
Goalie tonight?
Hutchin.
And then do you have lineup changes?
Just all the guys that came in, they're all playing.
Is Boone, is he playing? He had a maintenance day about Eric Robertson.
Yeah, that's the plan. Robbie is not in.
He is not.
Yeah, that's why the extra guy came in.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to
Yeah, sort.
Any conversation with Torts? Pretty much have to ask today.
No, Torts doesn't talk in game day. He's a grumpy old man. You know that.
Have you seen what he's kind of done recently with allowing some of the assistants to run the bench while he watches?
No, again, I'm not following what other teams are doing. I got my own stuff to worry about.
You were an assistant for him. He gave you some opportunities as well.
Yeah, not like that, but
no. But
what you're saying, but yeah.
Is that important though? Do you think that's a good thing for a head coach to do?
Yeah, Torts is. I think I've talked a lot about him. What I think of him, not only as a person but as a mentor. He's going to be a friend for life. Right? I love that man, and he's always cognizant of what's going on and trying to grow people around him. I'm a younger coach in this league, but still trying to do the same for my staff also, and so I always appreciate what he did for me.
course, everybody knows the situation here, right, between both Cleveland and Columbus. Well, how odd is it to kind of be, representing both teams on any given day, right? Especially, this is your first go at it here in a while, but you've got teammates who are shuttling back and forth. How odd is that circumstance?
Yeah, it's a little different than usual for sure, but obviously we understand the situation. Columbus is a bit shorthanded with injuries, and Cleveland, we need some wins to get into the playoffs, and that's just the reality of it. And hats off to the guys who have already done this a couple times, like Fixie and Dunner and Lou and guys like that who have traveled, gone back and forth, played back to back or 3-3 or whatever. And it's good for them to get experience in both, and for us coming up, it's always an exciting opportunity to play in the NHL and kind of showcase what we can do. And then, when we go back, we're obviously in some very fun, meaningful games as well. So it's both are fun. So it's an exciting time of year.
What does this call-up here mean for you right at the end of the year, another opportunity for you?
Yeah, I was obviously unfortunate with the injury this season, and took me some time to get back into kind of playing shape where I wanted to be. And so it's an exciting opportunity for me to get another crack at it here down the stretch.
You're on the other end of things in Cleveland. When you see those guys come back after they've been up here, what is that like as they try to kind of assimilate back into a team that they've been obviously very familiar with, but been gone for a while? What's that like?
I don't know. I mean, now it's just kind of it's just fun to see them every time they come back. It's almost comical because the situation's just crazy with the injuries and stuff. So when they come back, like last weekend we had we were in Canada all week and came back, and we knew they were really tired. Obviously, they just played, they traveled all day, and in a game like that, the guys are like, I don't know, like I'm really tired tonight. And you just having them in the lineup and on the bench helps us, and just whatever that they can bring. If it's 60%, if it's 70% that night, it helps a lot. And so I don't know. It's kind of a fun scenario for us. So yeah.
Yeah, very dynamic for sure.
Yeah. Did you pack a pretty big bag this week? Because who knows where you're going to be the next couple of days?
Yeah, I don't know, just a lot of socks.
Yeah.
I packed. Fortunately for me, I've got my house in Columbus and apartment in Cleveland, so I've got like half and half. So wherever I am, I'll have what I need.
Yeah.
Leave one suit at each.
Exactly. What has the atmosphere of the playoff push been like in Cleveland? Because I know you guys have had a lot of big games out here, had some big wins. I mean, it seems like you guys are coming together there as much as you can with all the people going in and out.
Yeah, we've been playing well. It's really fun. The games are exciting. The games are intense. The pace has already picked up, and last week the team we're chasing down, Laval. We had a game in Laval. It was sold out, and it already felt like a playoff game. So really exciting games, and we got the win in that one. And now this weekend we go to Utica, Rochester, and then Rochester at home, and those teams are both, I think, both already clinched. So those will be big games for us to win.
Yeah. Just how important would it be to make the playoffs? I mean, is there a real excitement to be part of the kind of that atmosphere, that push?
Oh yeah, I mean everybody's really excited. This is the best time of year to be playing, and especially for me, having missed 2 months of the season, I'm not quite ready to be done playing hockey yet. So yeah, we're gonna do everything we can to get into the playoffs, and then once you're in, anything can happen.